Hello friends, in last lecture we started unit number 2 in which we started fresh concrete, the basic properties of fresh concrete, then in which we see the definition of workability, then hydration reaction, what are requirement for hydration reaction, what are the basic compounds form, or what is a reaction between water and cement. We already saw in last lecture. Also we saw workability, the definition of workability according to IS, then water cement ratio law, that is Duff-Abrams law, S is equal to A by B raised to X, which also gives one graph on x-axis water cement ratio and y-axis water cement. The compressive strength of concrete is given by that graph. It shows that the water cement ratio is inversely proportional to the strength of concrete. Today we see the factor affecting workability of concrete. Workability in simple language, the ease by which one can handle the concrete, means the handling of concrete includes all the operations performed on the fresh concrete, namely mixing of concrete, transporting of concrete, then placing of concrete, then compaction action on concrete, and at the last the finishing of concrete. All the processes are easily done on concrete. That means the concrete is workable. Now let's see on what factors the workability of concrete is depends. Factors affecting workability. There are so many factors like water content, cement content, aggregate cement ratio, size of aggregate, shape of aggregates, grading of aggregates, water absorption of aggregates, temperature, and use of admixture. Let's see one by one. First is water content. As discussed before, the ease of flow of concrete mix governs the workability. The ease of flow can be achieved by reducing the internal friction between the particles of concrete, increasing the lubrication of the surface of aggregates can reduce the internal friction of particles. Water content of a cement mix plays an important role in increasing the lubrication between the particles. Therefore, more is the quantity of water, better will be the workability. But excess quantity of water has some severe adverse effect on the quality of concrete, because as we increase the quantity of water, the water cement ratio also increase, hence the strength of concrete decreases, the Abrams law. So one can use this option for increasing the workability by keeping the limit on water cement ratio as per the requirement, for which one has to increase the quantity of cement also along with the quantity of water to restrict the water cement ratio within the desirable limit. That is first factor, water content. Now let's see second factor affecting workability of concrete, that is cement content. At the given water content, if quantity of cement is reduced, it will lead to a harsh mix which is less workable there are certain difficulties in handling the harsh mix, such as difficulty in compaction, poor finishability, presence of more voids, etc. On the other hand, large quantity of cement within limit increases the cohesiveness, hence the workability of concrete mix. It also increases, but taking under large quantity of cement will lead to uneconomical mix and will also increase the shrinkage of concrete. That's why the cement content should be as required in the given mix of concrete. Therefore, the concrete will be economical one. The third factor is responsible or affecting workability of concrete is aggregate cement ratio. Aggregate cement ratio also plays an important role in governing the workability of concrete mix. It is necessary to maintain the adequate aggregate cement ratio in order to ensure the availability of sufficient quantity of cement paste for providing the lubrication of particles. Therefore, for high aggregate cement ratio, that is for the lean mix, less paste will be available for lubrication, hence the workability reduces. On the other hand, for low aggregate cement ratio, that is for the rich mix, the workability improves. The next factor is size of aggregate. For the given quantity of water and aggregates, the other way to improve the lubrication is to reduce the total surface area of aggregate, which is mainly responsible for causing internal friction between the particles. For the given volume of aggregate, larger the size of aggregates, lesser is the surface area of aggregates and more water will be available for lubrication. Hence, better will be the workability and vice versa. So, large size of aggregates provide better workability as compared to smaller size aggregates, so far as the water cement ratio and the total volume of aggregate are constant. Then next factor is shape of aggregates. By keeping other parameters constant, the rounded aggregates provide better workability as compared to the angular aggregates, because rounded aggregates provide less surface area and less internal friction as compared to angular aggregates. Hence, more water will be available for lubrication. But by using the rounded aggregates, the bond strength between the aggregates and cement paste is reduced, because angular aggregates and aggregates with rough surface provide better bond due to more surface area, hence gives better strength to concrete. Therefore, shape of aggregate is most important for considering strength factor of concrete. For workability, the rounded shape aggregates are better, but rounded aggregates not gives better strength than rough surface aggregate. Then grading of aggregates. Well graded aggregates with adequate contribution of all size of the aggregates have fewer voids as compared to poorly graded aggregates. For such well graded aggregates, more paste will be available for lubrication purpose. Hence, workability gets improved. On the other hand, one can obtain more dense concrete with least voids, and that too by providing least compaction effect. Therefore, grading of aggregate is important for considering workability of aggregate. Next factor is water absorption of aggregates. Water absorption of aggregates increases with the porosity of aggregates. So, porous aggregate will have greater demand of water. Hence, less water will be available for lubrication purpose, which reduces the workability of concrete. If this factor has not been taken into account in determining the quantity of water, therefore sound or dense aggregates will give better workability as compared to porous and lightweight aggregate. The next factor is temperature. It has been observed that the workability decreases with the increase of temperature, because with the increase in temperature both the rates of hydration and evaporation increases. Hence, the loss of moisture is high. Therefore, during hot weather concreting, it is always preferred to use some workability agents to maintain the desired degree of workability, that is admixtures. And use of admixtures, it reduces, that is plasticizers and super plasticizers mostly use admixtures in concrete. Plasticizers are water reducer and super plasticizer are high water reducing agents. Therefore, the use of admixtures is also affect the workability of concrete. These are the factors affecting workability of concrete. These are the general factors which are responsible for workability of concrete. We keep in mind that all factors when we record particular type of workability at a construction. Now let's see next part, that is measurement of workability. How workability is measured of particular type of concrete. As discussed before, the workability of concrete, being a complex property, is difficult to define. Further, it is equally difficult to quantify the workability by carrying out a single test. For the last many years, several attempts have been made by the researchers to investigate the appropriate method to determine some parameters which may closely represent the workability of concrete mix, in which an overview of the most commonly used methods to determine the workability of concrete mix has been given. However, you are advised to go through the lab manual or standard textbook of concrete technology for details. The measurement of workability is done by following tests. That tests are: first is slump test, second is compaction factor test, then flow test, and VP consistometer test. slump test is most used test for determining workability of concrete. The slump test is easily done on site as well as in the lab. Compaction factor test equipment is available. It also done on site or in the lab. Flow test and BB consistometer test are only done in laboratory. First test we see in detail slump cone test in detail. Today, slump test is the most widely used method to determine the workability of concrete mix in the lab or at the site. This test is easy to perform and require a simple apparatus. Slump test is prepared for medium workability concrete mix and is not suitable for very wet or very dry concrete mixes. Although it does not measure all the factors contributing to the workability, but is very useful on site to judge the relative variations in the quality of concrete from batch to batch. In this test, the metallic mold in the form of frustum of cone of the standard size as given in the figure is used. The top diameter of the cone is 10 centimeter, bottom diameter is 20, and the height of the slump cone is 30 centimeter. It is better for trick remembering the dimension of the cone is 10, 20, 30. In all dimensions are in centimeter. The concrete mix is poured in the mold in layers in specified manner. Each layer is compacted in standard manner with the help of tampering rod. After filling the mold with the compacted concrete, the top surface of the concrete is flushed with the top of the mold. Now the mold is smoothly lifted vertically upward so as to leave the self supporting concrete mass behind. Immediately after removing the mold, the concrete mass gets subsided. The height, that is in millimeter or centimeter, by which the concrete mass subsides is called the slump of concrete, which represent the workability. The pattern of slump may be any of the three forms, that is true slump or shear slump or collapse one. The slump can be measured only in the case of true slump. More is the slump, better is the workability of concrete mix. The shear slump indicates that the mix is not properly cohesive and has a tendency to segregate and hence is not suitable for placement. The collapse slump indicates that the concrete mix is very wet or lean. Lean means cement content is very low in that particular type of concrete. The excessive wet concrete mix will have flowability, whereas lean mix will have less cohesion and inadequate consistency. By observing the slump of different batches of concrete mix, one can judge the variations in the proportion of ingredients from batch to batch. For example, greater slump indicates the increase in water content. If true slump turns to shear slump, it indicates that the quantity of cement is reduced or mix is become harsh. Similarly, for the collapse slump indicates sudden increase of water content in the concrete mix. In view of the above, the test is very useful in ensuring the quality control on the mix proportion on the field. This is simple test done on concrete for measuring workability. Most important part for exam point of view to determine the size of the slump, that is 10, 20 and 30. All dimensions are in centimeter. 10 is upper diameter of the cone, 20 is the lower diameter of the cone, and 30 centimeter is the height of the that particular slump cone. The concrete is filled in standard manner in 3 layers and compacted with the help of tampering rod, and then the cone is lifted upward vertically, and concrete is kept for subsiding by itself by removing the cone. After that we see the what kind of collapse is done or what kind of slump is happen. It may be true, shear or collapse. In next lecture we will see the other types of tests done on the concrete for measuring the workability. Thank you.